So here we go, it's time for the Singapore Grand Prix, and I thought, you know what, let's bring out the white livery to play for one final time this season. Because, you know, much like in real life, you saw in this year's Singapore Grand Prix, a lot of teams bring special liveries, and I thought, you know what, it seems to be a trend where, you know, teams want to bring special liveries for this race, so why not join the party? McLaren did it, Mercedes did it, so let's throw mine back in the mix and bring out the white. Again, the revised white paint scheme with the revised sponsors, Halo, the Maserati 110 anniversary logo, and just all those little bits and pieces, little trimmings that make this car absolutely amazing. Again, I've got a special livery coming soon for Vegas. In the meantime, guys, the previous episode will be linked in the top right. Go watch it. Baku, the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, our first race with the new 110 AI patch. This is also going to be a bit of a test to see how they perform around another street circuit as we delve into our marketing department event. Now, I'm going to pick a rival, and it's going to be George Russell. To be fair, either Merc driver is fine as long as it isn't Max Verstappen. Now, we have 2,500 R&D points, and we're going to burn those on a front wing flap profile upgrade. That's going to give us a pretty big buff. If we pair that with the other upgrades we have on the way, I mean, we should hopefully jump to second place on the aerodynamics chart. Now, there is one thing to note. The reg change for next year, it's going to affect the powertrain and durability. So we'll have to bear that in mind moving forward for the remaining upgrades this season. Now, one thing we are going to do is switch out the energy store to the older spec. We're going to try and squeeze one more race out of that second unit, and then hopefully we should be good for the remaining races to get through on the new one. We'll also use this one for the practice sessions for the rest of the season to hopefully get that longevity working for the whole year, and hopefully no more grid drops. Now, Marina Bay, Singapore, I quite enjoy the circuit, especially since the modifications a couple of years ago. Now, the forecast is dry. I feel like I always get rain at Singapore. We've got a lot of rain in the race at the end of it. Qualifying, though, is going to be dry. In terms of the performance chart this weekend, no upgrades to really talk about. However, we are very, very close to Aston Martin, and you can see we're fresh off the back of a podium at the bottom of the screen there around Baku. Red Bull still lead the way in terms of performance. Ferrari, McLaren not far behind, and everyone's kind of converging a little bit. Now, in the championship, let's talk about this real quick. Verstappen's now our rival. We are going for the World Drivers' Championship. It's going to be difficult. We don't quite have the car for it, but we've taken a real step forward lately, and we might just have a shot. So the gap right now, you can see, is 42 points. So we are within 2 race wins. Still 7 rounds to go, 3 sprints. So plenty of points up for grabs. And we're going to see if, unlike Norris in real life, we might be able to put some pressure on Max and potentially win the title. Now, with that out of the way, we're going to delve into practice. Now, we had a very good race run. However,
okay, test complete, and that was a really good job indeed. We got a lot of valuable information out of that. Well done.
We did have a bit of a scare on the exit of the last corner. Luckily, we got the job done. Tyre wear above average, fuel consumption above average. So both of those we're going to have to work on to get those dialed in for the race. You can see our pace also generally got slower on average, so tyre wear a big factor here for us. So yeah, definitely some stuff to work on heading into the race and qualifying. Now, in terms of the practice results, Jamie Chadwick was only a couple of tenths behind. We finished in P15, P19, or P18, sorry, respectively. As we wrap up practice, we scored maximum points, and yeah, a good weekend all round. We didn't actually get a ton of discounts, so I missed a lot of these kind of secondary goals doing practice. I was also trying to, you know, reduce the use of the engine, especially the energy store, to keep it fresh for the weekend. So we only got a handful of discounts on other productive upgrades. Again, with that reg change, it's not really important now anyway. So yeah, so far so good. Good weekend, good practice, livery looking good. But we're now going to jump into qualifying and put our pace to the test versus the new and improved 110 AI here at Singapore. Let's get to it.
It is one of our great cinematic settings of the season. Welcome to Singapore. We're under the floodlights with the walls close and pole position up for grabs.
Now then, we join the action on some nice, fresh, soft compound tyres, looking to go very, very fast. Now, our first lap was good until this hairpin. I ran it in a bit hot. You do pull it back a bit on the exit, but that's definitely a tenth or two we dropped in that corner. Looking to close out the lap now, attacking the final apex. Over the line we go. 1:26.0, half a second off Lando Norris, who's P1 at the time. We took a cool down lap as always, and we're going to go for a second push like we always do in these qualifying sessions, and we're going to look to try and hopefully iron out some of those wrinkles and go a bit quicker. Now through turn 1, 2, 3, where they hit you really quick, we actually got a really good run out of there, got a great exit. For turn 4, we just kissed the inside curb, flirt with the barrier there, did a little love tap on the way out, and we're going to be over a 10th up in the first sector. Now then, spot the braking for turn 6, brake at the curb, but just before, down to 4th gear, use all the runoff as we then get ready for this 90-degree right. Important to focus on your exit here. As you can see, we're still a 10th and a half up, heading through this long left, avoid the wall that sticks out midway through, and now we head into the tricky technical section here at the Anderson Bridge. Important to pick up a late apex through that right-hander to hit the curb at the right angle so it's flat, and then direction change on point. We get the apex, and look at the time gain. Suddenly from 2.5 to 4.5 tenths up there briefly, now 4 tenths up as we close out the middle sector. Braking hard for this 90-degree right. Sargent gets out the way, and now we're going to burn the batteries all the way down this new back straight as we have one chicane and a final corner to go. For this one, brake at about the Rolex board above, 4th gear, flick it over, direction change on point, avoid the barrier, and now the last corner, just throw it in, 6th gear, attack the curb, and now battery to the line, and it's a 1:25.6 purple in the last sector, and we do a 1:25.6, which is a whisker off Lando's 25.5. However, I spotted Lando on track and he went to a 25.4, so he moved the goalposts a little bit and is now pretty much 2 tenths up and owns every single purple sector. So, one attempt to go. Let's go for a lap of Singapore and let's try and beat him.
And that's just 30 seconds left in the session.
That mistake right there was the nail in the coffin. I chose to roll out of it and just save tyres in case, because we've got that rain and you never know what might happen. So Norris on pole, Verstappen sneaks into second, Leclerc third, and we finish P4, back end of the second row ahead of Alonso, Hamilton, Sainz, Russell. Jamie Chadwick, P18, also showing her improved form, as she was only 2 tenths off P12. So definitely she's taken a step forward. I think since the patch, she seems to improve. So that's encouraging. Anyway, not a bad session. Car was pretty decent, but I don't know if we had the pace for pole. That was a really good lap, the one we did. And at the end we tried, but I couldn't quite beat it. So not too annoyed, just frustrating that 2 of the 3 rivals we have got ahead of us. So yeah, it's going to be a tricky race. Rain forecast, so a bit of a lottery. So let's see what happens. First off, starting off with strategy.
The spectacular backdrop of the Singapore skyline, something of an endurance race ahead with the notorious sauna-like temperatures for the drivers. It makes it a very physical contest out there. Welcome back to Marina Bay for the Singapore Grand Prix. One of the interesting things about this circuit was the fact that we went under the grandstand. Well, not at the moment. The track layout has been reduced to 3 miles. Turn 16 and 19 are lost for the moment. We now have a straight there. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Lando Norris put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he will start from pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who will start from P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Leclerc, Martinez, Fernando Alonso, Hamilton, Sainz, Oscar Piastri, Perez, Ricciardo, Ocon, Gasly, Russell, Magnussen, Tsunoda, Stroll, Albon, Chadwick, Bottas, Hulkenberg, Joe, and Logan Sargent. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. Welcome to the commentary box. I'm Alex Jakes. Alongside us for this one is Naomi Schiff. Well, it's all about forgetting last time because that was a bit of a shocker. How did they change the story today?
It is true, they had a really tough day in the office last time out, but they cannot dwell on that. It's so important to turn the page and start on a blank slate, because the more you dwell on that, the less it's going to push you in the right direction. So take some notes. Obviously, there's things to be learned, but move on.
So here we go then, time for the main event and the race. P4, second row of the grid, decent qualifying. We couldn't quite maximise the final run, but I was very happy with my second lap. Now, I feel like this race doesn't really matter in terms of where you're at or how you're getting on, because that rain is going to be the key factor here. Now, for this one, I'm going to start on hard tyres. I'm going to give that a crack and see if I can drive my way straight into the intermediates. I could potentially go mediums. They do last a reasonable amount of time, but I'm going to trust that the forecast is accurate and this is the right thing to do. So let's see what happens. Fuel-wise, I've put only 0.2 of a lap in because we should save fuel in the wet conditions. Also, we're in traffic, so we can hopefully lift and coast. So yeah, let's see how it goes. I'm not expecting insane race pace. I think I'll be happy to stay P4 until the rain arrives, but hopefully the strategy gamble is worth it. We're going all in to try and win this race, and we're going to box straight to Inters, hopefully, and get this W, because that would really then officially get us back in the fight for the World Championship. Anyway, let's get into it. Well, I've got to say, I've done a decent job of getting my tyres up to temperature here. It seems like we are the only ones opting for the hards, so we're going to have to work these hard and really be aggressive with it. Anyway, good job, good warm-up. Now let's try and maintain pace. This won't be easy. We might drop a few places, but let's see. Right then, let's get to it. And let's see how we get on. Lights. And away we go. Oh, good start. Very good start. Side by side with Leclerc here through turn 1. He just gets in front into turn 3. I'll take that though. That's a very, very good launch. Hamilton, Alonso battling behind, so we're going to get a little bit of respite, and we're not going to be under pressure immediately here, but the AI are going to be pushing really hard here with this new update on this opening lap, so staying in the DRS will be crucial. Of course, 3 DRS zones around it. We need every single one of them. Right, come on then. Actually, is it 3? Might be 2. No, it's 3, yeah. 3 DRS zones. So we need every single one of those to try and stick with the pace. I think the medium is actually going to hold on okay in terms of longevity. It's just whether, you know, the classic old, will the AI just stick to their strategy, even though there's rain inbound, and basically do like a few laps on another set of tyres before it starts to rain. We're going to basically see if they're still not very intelligent, for lack of a better phrase. And the minute we're hanging on, this is good. But we're not out of the woods yet. We actually gained quite a decent bit there, and we're now well within DRS. We've also dropped Hamilton, so this is actually way better than I anticipated. The only bad news here is that Norris is P1.
Okay, we're monitoring somewhere on the internal combustion engine. Be aware that we're going to start to see a loss of power.
Also not ideal that championship leader Verstappen's P2, but Norris is the guy who's behind us in the championship. So I think it's P4, we're P2, but he's not a million miles away, so we can't let him win if we can avoid it.
Right, we've got a very worn-out MG UK. Our battery charge speed is suffering, and if it gets much worse, we could be forced to retire.
That snap just cost me DRS on Leclerc. So the AI are still pushing on now with these tyres. Not ideal. We're now under pressure from Hamilton here. We may have to let him go. tactically if we want to stick with the front three and not let them get away. Alonso isn't with us, so we can let Lewis go, which we will, and we'll just fall in line. Hopefully he can put us along on that tyre for a bit. We still need a few more laps before this tyre starts to really work. I'm struggling here. The field is spreading and the AI's pace is relentless right now. I've been trying to get some charge, but it's not really happening easily. I'm having to use what I saved to kind of stick with Lewis here, who at times has been within range of Leclerc's DRS. Luckily, he's not really falling away per se. Also, look at the mini-map, there's a break behind Piastri. So, this is going to be the race today. It's going to be decided by all of us. No word on the rain yet, but I'm sure it won't be long. I'll get an update now, but we've got a yellow, assuming it's behind.
We think we might see some rain. ETA about 15 minutes. Dries definitely seem like the fastest tyre at the moment.
So Jamie's out, our teammate. That's a shame. She's showing a bit of good form last race in Baku. I wanted to see if it translated to this race, but I guess we'll never know. Also rain inbound, so we'll see. Another yellow on the back straight. No one retiring, just a buggy texture by the looks of it. A bit of a lock up there. We have managed to drop Alonso, and also Hamilton's got himself finally within Leclerc. This is DRS, so we've got a top 5 that's formed, and I'd say now we're maybe entering the crossover, and the hard tyre now probably working on par, if not slightly better than the medium. Sainz, Alonso battling away. That's good for the championship. Sainz is directly behind us, P3 in the Drivers' Championship, and he's now 2.4 drift. Right, now we've settled in. So those are mediums. I'd say now I've leveled off and we've got the same pace as these guys, if not slightly better. But now it's going to be hard to pass because of the DRS effect. I don't have more pace than these guys yet, but hopefully each lap now I should start to notice an improvement. I'm just going to sit here and manage. Our fuel is also dangerously close to being negative. We've been still burning through it, even with DRS all this time, because we've been pushing flat out. There's been no respite from the AI, so it's just been relentless non-stop. So hopefully now we get a little bit of a calm period as Verstappen.
Rain is forecast in just over 10 minutes time. Rain in 10 minutes.
So Verstappen now is one around the outside of Norris, and we've got rain in 10, so that could be around lap 17. So this could be close for everyone in terms of strategy here. I think I could probably pass Lewis here soon. I've just got to set something up. Sainz can't quite catch. I think those mediums are starting to fade a little bit, and I'm able to keep the gap over a second. Verstappen's putting a slight gap between him and Norris, but right now I feel like I'm close to passing Lewis. I've been close a few times, and now we've got the charge. I can have a little look. That was easy enough. Lewis made that very, very straightforward for me there. Jumping out of the way like that. Good place to pass because it's a non-DRS zone, so the straight line speed isn't as high. Wasn't really, totally planning on going for that. I thought I'd give it a try, and once I saw Lewis go defensive, I was like, you know what, game on, let's take it. Hamilton dropped. He's starting to struggle, hence why I passed him. These three are still holding a decent pace, but Hamilton is starting to fade. Oh, Norris having a look here. Having a proper look. Yep, he's back through. That's going to bring Lewis back into it. Yep, there we go. And this might also bring Sainz into the mix.
Radar suggests some weather's going to hit in around 5 minutes time, so stay on your toes.
Well, it's going to be around lap 18, I'd say, so original prediction wasn't too far off. I'm just wondering if I can try and surprise Leclerc here. I've been trying this for the last 2 laps and kind of rehearsing it. If I get that line right, I can maybe get the exit to challenge Leclerc. Either way, rain's not far out now, so eye on the sky. Genuinely really good traction from Charles there. He's not struggling nowhere near as much as Lewis is. Sainz is about to bring the cavalry with him into this fight, so we're all going to re-merge just as the rain arrives. Luckily, we ain't got a stack. There it is. Bosh. Nice move. Leclerc's still there. But we outbrake him. Make sure we don't get a terrible exit. We do get some oversteer, but we've got battery to fight. That was a nice pass. We set that one up. There was a bit of a concertina effect from Norris and Verstappen, so Leclerc's going slow. And we timed that perfectly. And now the AI box, so the timing on that overtake was critical. Oh my days. So, as I predicted, and the whole point of this strategy gamble was to, you know, pull this off and hopefully switch to Inters right away. Well, rain is inbound, I'm sure, any lap now, so we're on the right strap. And now Sainz, Perez, Piastri with all box, thus leaving us out on our own, out front. Interestingly, they've all resumed back into their original position, so nobody started on hards besides me. However, Norris is down to 4th, and he's been overtaken by Leclerc and Hamilton. Well, Leclerc, to be fair, was already ahead. Actually, no, Leclerc wasn't ahead. So, yeah, he's been overtaken by Leclerc and Hamilton. So, Norris with a poor pit stop phase. Either way, we're just managing this gap until the rain arrives. And here it is. The rain is here. Right. Let's see how long the transition takes.
Okay, the forecast suggests this rain's going to keep getting stronger for at least the next 15 minutes. Okay, dries seem like the best tyre for now.
Okay.
Okay, track conditions aren't improving. It's your choice as to whether you want to fit full wets next time you come in.
We've got Inters ready to go, so let's just see how the track evolves.
Okay, I think we're still the right tyres for the time being.
Yep, I agree with that. It's a slow transition. I think still another lap. It's reasonably dry. Bit of a mistake there, just outbroke myself a little bit, but there's still decent grip on these tyres. The Inter is just going to fry, so we'll go for another one. Also, we've got a margin.
Okay, we want you to pit this lap, so push now, push.
So we don't have to panic. I reckon this could be the lap though.
Okay, we have a problem with ERS. We have a problem with the ERS.
Right, we've lost a bit of power. Hamilton, meanwhile, has just passed Verstappen for P2. I still think it might be another lap. This transition is very slow. Whatever that engine issue is, I'm struggling to get out of 6th gear. We are saving fuel now, which is good, but we were going to save fuel in the rain anyway. This weather transition is really weird. It's still fairly okay for dryers, although I don't think we're far off. It could be this lap. Our engine just got fixed as well, so we're back to full power. Yeah, this is lap.
Confirmed. We'll receive you at the end of this lap.
So here we go. We'll switch to the Inter. It's probably still possible to do another lap on dries. I think maybe my tyre wear is also, you know, playing games. I mean, we've got significant wear now, but we'll go for the Inter now. I don't think it's too far off in terms of a strategy call. I wasn't called in. DRS hasn't been disabled yet, so technically it's still there. Yellow behind. Norris is out of the race, I think. Either that or he spun the car. The AI is staying out for another lap. I think Norris is out. Or not, because he hasn't come up yet. So maybe he has spun.
Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross onto the track.
Yep, Norris only spun, so he's still in the race, but that could cost him dearly in the championship. Now, let's see who's made the right call here. I think it's the right moment for the Inter. Maybe the fresh hard is hanging on a bit better than my worn hard, but this is the transition phase. Yep, this was the right call. The AI staying long hasn't paid off. We're quicker, much quicker. I'm just trying not to fry my tyres too much. Surely the AI will box now. Either way, this is the right strap. We've got it all perfect today. And no, the AI is still staying out. I don't know what they're doing. Either way, this race is falling nicely in our lap.
These conditions are only getting worse. Watch out for standing water.
I'm all good. The AI, though, might be in a bit of trouble. I mean, we are going through our tyres a little bit because it's not fully Inter, but it's just the right call. It seems like they're still not pitting. I'm baffled by this. Okay.
DRS has been disabled by the stewards. DRS will be offline. Wait for further updates.
I mean, surely now they must pit. It has to be. Okay, the AI are pitting further down the field, so I think they will pit this lap, finally. So, a weird race, weird conditions, weird strategies, but crucially we made the right call from start to finish. Starting on the hards, driving to the Inter, boxing for the Inter itself, and now just managing it. The track's still not there, in a weird way, and some cars having to stay out. The number 2 drivers having to go long. But it's definitely time for Inters, and we should get by Perez here fairly swiftly. Look at him struggling for grip massively. Straight up the inside. Easy move. And we'll probably get Sainz as well. I will say the track has properly gone in the last lap or so. Because now we've got all the grip in the world, and actually
Okay, I think we're still the right tyres for the time being.
I'm a little bit thin. Dare I say, if you're an AI, I'd probably go for a full wet and just go for it. I mean, the rain now suddenly is coming down pretty heavily. Literally within a lap, it's completely turned. So now I'd even say, yeah, go for a full wet, because that might be the better option here. My God, it's absolutely tumbling. That was an expensive extra lap for Perez and Sainz to stay out, to not double stack. But maybe, if they go for wets, it'll be worth it. There is no grip right now, by the way. I am on a pretty second-hand Inter, but the grip has just gone. It's properly chucking it down now. It's full rain. Monsoon conditions here. Perez has gone for mediums and Sainz, so they're going to go for it. So that's their race over. That's good for the championship. Sainz and Norris are nowhere, so we're going to really pull away from them.
Okay, I think it might just be about time to come and change these tyres.
I've got a gap, so I'm okay, but it's on the ropes, I'll tell you that for a free. It's very, very low grip. There is no grip. Really no grip. I'm not even that quick. Verstappen's catching me easily. Very lucky we've got the gap, because we're losing like a second a lap. I just don't have any front end, and the rears are not exactly responding. I'm just really not finding any pace right now. There's so much water on track. Right then, here we go. Last lap of the race. I've got to say, it's been an absolute masterclass in strategy today. Everything has turned out perfectly, and we do it draped in white, looking like $1,000,000. Here we go then, last chicane, under the bridge. Just keeping it tidy. Verstappen only 5+ behind. He's really caught me up, but we're going to limp home with the perfect strategy and win, and suddenly game on in the championship.
Come on! Now we can fight!
Oh, superb driving! That is the race win, my friend. Well done!
What a great race it's been then. Another classic Singapore Grand Prix, and they've held on to take the checkered flag here today. Welcome then to the podium, our top 3 drivers. What a great effort from them today in a very difficult race.
There we go then, confirmation of the results. Verstappen does get the fastest lap of the race, so does get an extra point. Crucially, Carlos Sainz P7, Lando Norris P9. So we're leaving them behind, and we're turning our sole focus to Max and the World Drivers' Championship. So no need to go into the results. We saw Jamie retired, so there's no need to find where she finished. So straight into the standings we go, and the gap is 36 points. Now I believe this is round 18. We've got 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 rounds to go with a sprint, well actually 3 sprints. So it's very much still up for grabs. At the same time, Sainz, Norris can still catch us, but that race right there really hurt Lando. Now then, in the Constructors, P5, again, the gap to Mercedes is closing a little. 66 points. 56 points. It's not impossible, but you know, Lewis today finished P3. It's going to be really difficult. Unless Jamie starts scoring points, it's not going to happen. Anyway, guys, on screen now, you're going to have the post-race fallout. We should gain a nice bit of acclaim. And we're getting very close to level 20 team acclaim, which unlocks another sponsor, which means another livery tweak in this season. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. As always, a massive shout out to the members for supporting the content on the channel, guys. Like the video, subscribe, also very important. Comment down below if you enjoyed that video and where do you think we're going to finish in the championship. Anyway, in the meantime, guys, cheers for watching. As always, check out the 2 videos on screen if you haven't seen them already, and I'll see you guys in the next one very soon. Take care, and that's goodbye from me. Ciao.